Good evening, friends. My name is Rajkumar Guna Bhosle. Today date is 25 August 2021. Today's video topic is interface in Java. The interface is the easy way to achieve the abstraction in a Java. An interface can have method variables like a class, but the method of an interface are by default abstract. It means the interface can contain only abstract methods. That is method without body. The interface used when we want to achieve the full abstraction. An abstraction is a blueprint of a class and specifies what a class must and do and not not how to do it. The interface has only abstract methods. When any app class implements the interface, then it must provide the body of abstract methods. If a class implements an interface does not provide to the abstract method, then the class must be declared abstract, otherwise it will through compile time exception. Let's talk about some properties of the abstract interface. Interface is declared with interface keyword. The second property is the implement keyword is used by the class to implement an interface. The next property is before Java 8, an interface can only abstract methods. It cannot have concrete methods. Means concrete method means non-abstract methods. Method have a body is called as concrete method. Since Java 8, interface can have a default method and static methods. Since Java 9, the interface can have only interface can have private methods also. And then all the interface methods are by default abstract and public. Next property is an interface may also contain the variables. All the variables are by default public, static, and final. The interface variable must be initialized at the time of declaration. Otherwise, compiler will throw an error. Next property is you can't create an object of the interface. An interface does not contain any constructor any constructor. An interface does not contain any. You cannot create an object of the interface. An interface does not contain any constructor. An interface and can extend another interface. A class can't extend the interface. A class can implement it. The implementation of a class has a responsibility to provide the body of all abstract methods, else the class should be an abstract class. Then the next properties: an abstract interface can't be declared as a private, protected, and or transient. Next property is a class can implement any number of interface by use of the comma. A class cannot implement two interface that have method with the same name but different return types. By the use of interface, we can achieve the multiple inheritance, which is not possible by the use of the class. Next, let's talk about how to create an interface. An interface is declared by using the interface keyword. An interface looks like the class accepts the interface keyword. During the declaration of interface, we must take methods because it can have only abstract methods, that is method without body. But after Java 8, we can define the method within interface. We can define variable also. Later talk about syntax of interface. Interface, then interface name, and in the class variables and methods. Let's take an example. The interface student data, take integer roll number is 1 and integer marks 70, and methods void show data and void show details. Interface, it is a keyword that used to declare an interface. Then variables, you have declared variables in interface. The variable is public, static, void, or final, default. Abstract method, you declare a method in interface. All the methods declared interface, public and abstract method. Then the compiler add the uh, some some uh, 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 additional data, that is with variable, there is a public static final int roll number is equal to 1, and public static final int marks is equal to 70. And for methods, it add the public abstract show data method and public abstract show details method. Then how to implement an interface. As we have read the interface, as we used achieve the abstraction like an abstract class, we can't create an object of the interface. To provide the body of abstract method, we can implement interface in other classes. When a class implement in an interface, it uses the interface keyword. By use of implement keyword, all the variables and methods inherited in a class. Let's take an example. Class equal class name, implement the interface name, and the other is body. The interface student is equal to int roll number 1 and int marks 70. Then method is a void show data method and void show details method. Then create another class mark sheet, implement the student class. The public void show data, the sysout, this implementation show of method, and public void show method sysout roll number is equal to roll number plus marks of the student is equal to marks. Then create a public class main class, that is public static and main string argument. Create an object marksheet is equal to new marksheet. Then we can call by using the object marksheet dot show data and marksheet dot show data details. Then output is the roll number 1 and mark is the 79. And then take another example. Let's take another example. Interface bank. Then the float rate of interest. Then create another class SBI, implement the bank, that is public float rate of interest returns 9.5 float. Then create another class, that is a PNB, implement the bank class. The public float rate of interest is 9.7f. Then create another class test interface 2. The public static requirement string argument bank B is equal to new SBI system dot out of print out of system dot SOP rate of interest is equal to B dot rate of interest. Then output is the 9.1.5. The multiple inheritance in Java by interface. If the class implement the multiple inheritance interface, interface extend the multiple interfaces. It's known as multiple inheritance. Then the purpose of the mainly three reasons of the user interface. That is the first reason, it is used to achieve the abstraction. And second reason is the by interface we can support the functionality of the multiple inheritance. And the third main reason is it can be used to achieve the coupling. Let's take an example of the Java interface, that is drawable. In this example, a drawable interface has only one method. Its implementation is provided by rectangle or circle classes. In real scenario, an interface it is defined by someone else, but its implementation is provided by different implementations providers. Moreover, is used by someone else. The implementation part is hidden by the user who uses the interface. Let's create the interface drawable. Void draw method. Then create the class rectangle, implements the drawable class. Then public void draw method sys out drawing rectangle. Then the class create another class circle, implements the drawable. Then public void draw method sys out drawing circle. The class interface 1 public static void means that is string argument drawable d is equal to new circle. Then we can call the by using the object of the d dot draw. Then the output is the uh, drawing circle. Talk about what is a marker or tagged interface. An interface which has no member is known as marker or tagged interface. For example, the serializable, clonable, and remote. They are used to provide some essential information to the JVM so that JVM may perform the some useful operations. Thank you. That's all about today video topic, that is interface.